Hi, I'm going to show you how to work through this worksheet. This is in OneNote, Kinetics and Equilibrium. It's PE diagram easy. It's 2 pages. We're going to go through this one, and then I will also show you, well, I started off the more challenging one in OneNote so you can kind of see an example. All right, so we're going to, this is 2 pages. So we're going to use this graph. Is this above reaction endothermic or exothermic? So based on the lesson, you see that we have a larger amount of energy output, so we're ending lower than where we're starting, which would make this an exothermic graph. What letter represents the potential energy of the reactants? So the reactants are A and B, so we want to see how much energy do A and B have when we start. So energy of the reactants, always you have to start at your x axis and go up to the starting point. So that would be line interval B. The amount of energy the products have, well, our products are C and D. Well, how much energy do C and D have? This much energy. What's the letter that measures that much energy? F. What letter represents the heat of reaction or the change from start to finish? So the change from start to finish is the difference between the energy that A and B have and the energy that C and D have. So this region here. So the arrow that represents that region is D. What letter represents activation energy of the forward reaction? So let me erase this other stuff. Activation energy is the hill that has to be climbed in order for the, why is that erasing? Weird. It's the hill that has to be climbed in order for the reactants to be able to do something. So the size of the hill for the forward reaction, that means we start to the left. This is the hill we have to climb. So that interval is represented by A. And now the activation energy of the reverse reactions, we're starting backwards and climbing the hill. Here is the height of that hill, which would be interval E. Activated complex, think about like this is the longest term. It's going to always be the longest arrow that you're working with. So it starts at the base and goes to the top. Is this reverse reaction endo or exothermic? Well, if the forward reaction is exothermic, the reverse reaction is endothermic. And the last question, if a catalyst was added, what letter or letters would change? So let's just draw a catalyst. So drawing in a catalyst, you would put a dotted line, like a shorter hill here. Any arrowed interval that originally touched the top of the hill is going to be altered because now the new top of the hill is here. So which intervals involve touching the top of the hill? Interval A, interval C, and interval E. Let's look at the next page. So this one is more complicated. You never have like a Regents question that has all these arrowed intervals on it, but we can go through and we have all these different possible scenarios going on here. The reaction shown above is endo or exothermic. Okay, so now we have a bigger downhill, so we have a net output of energy, so that would be exothermic. Which arrow represents the energy of the reactants for the forward reaction? So that means starting at the left, where our reactants are on the left, the amount of energy they start out with is A. The energy of the reactants for the reverse reaction, so if I'm going in reverse, I'm starting on the right-hand side, so now these are my reactants. How much energy do they have? G. Energy of the products for the forward reaction, so it's just flip-flopped. That would also be G. And the reactants for the for the products for the reverse reaction would be letter A. Now, these next few questions, 6 through 9. Which lettered arrow represents delta H for the forward catalyzed reaction, uncatalyzed reaction, and then reverse catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction? All right, these all have to do with delta H, the change from beginning to end. So the change from beginning to end is based on the beginning and the end. Okay, so that's this region here. The arrow that matches up with this region is letter F. Does it matter if we're using a catalyst or not? No, because the beginning and the end don't finish. If I've said, okay, which of course we can't go to the mall right now because they're all closed, haha. But if I wanted to go to the mall right now and I'm starting at my house, there's a ton of different routes that I could take. But the point is, I'm always starting at my house and ending at the mall. Okay, it doesn't matter which route I'm taking. It's the starting point and the ending point remain the same. So letter F is going to be the answer for all of these. The delta H is a constant. That's the point of these 4 questions, is to show you that it doesn't matter. Okay, for number 10, I'm going to get rid of some of this other stuff. Which lettered arrow represents activation energy for the forward catalyzed reaction? So activation energy is the hill that has to be climbed in order for the reactants to do something. So if we're talking about the forward reaction, we're starting at the left. We're talking about catalyzed, so we're following our dotted line path. So the activation energy is the hill that has to be climbed, starting at the left and climbing the dotted hill, which is just to here. So that interval would be letter B. Number 11, which interval represents activation energy for the forward uncatalyzed reaction? So again, forward, we start to the left. Uncatalyzed means we follow our regular pathway. No catalyst was used. So that would be interval E. For number 12, activation energy of the reverse catalyzed reaction. So reverse means we start at the right. Catalyze means we're following the dotted line. So we want to see what is the size of this hill. And that would be letter I. Reverse uncatalyzed reaction. So we're going to follow our regular path starting at the right. So the size of that hill would be letter D. The activated complex for the catalyzed reaction. So activated complex will always start at our base and hit the crest of our hill. Since we're talking about the catalyzed reaction, the crest of our hill is our dotted line. So we want this interval, which would be letter J. Activated complex for the uncatalyzed reaction would be our tallest possible interval from the base all the way to the top, and that would be letter C. Number 16, the interval, the difference between activation energy of catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. So basically the difference between our top of our hill and the top of our dotted hill, which is just this region here, and that would be letter H. And activated complex differences for catalyzed and uncatalyzed reactions would be the same thing, letter H. And then the last question, reverse reaction. The reverse reaction would start at the right. That would be climbing overall, so that would be an endothermic reaction. Okay, so now the next thing that you're going to work on, there's a worksheet PE diagram challenge. I solved the first one on the first page and the first one on the second page, kind of color coding it to show you where the answers come from. So basically, you're given some blank potential energy diagrams, or you're given enough information in the data table to construct one and fill in the rest of the numbers. Let me know if you need any help in our next session.